Well, hey everybody. This is the first million words again. We're back after a involuntary hiatus where I got into a little bit of trouble, well, pain, more like, and we were unable to record. Guillermo, my co-host and hetero life mate, was a little busy working. I was a little busy going to the hospital and being in pain and having children and stuff. I mean, not actually me having children, but anyway, we're back and we'll have new episodes up on the weekly, as far as I know. This one, episode 40, is going to be the first episode of our Hide and Create series, featuring Diana Rowland and Joshua Esso? No, Jordan Ellinger. Wait, you'll know. You'll hear it. When I think we'll say their names. You'll know. Anyway, just a quick note, Diana Rowland no longer on Hide and Create, but Hide and Create's a great show. Listen to it, and we'll have more from them in the coming weeks. So thanks for listening, and here's the show. The First Million Words, Episode 40, Hide and Create, Part 1.
It's kind of like if you're driving a car and the wipers aren't working, and they're like, well, have you tried breaking the wipers off and throwing them in the street?
It could work.
Exactly. And my job is to say, well, we thought of that, but we decided that that would be detrimental to our but you have to try it first and then fail, and then they let you do what you need to do, which is that it's a good work environment.
Well, at least you're not in customer service anymore, right?
Oh God, I hate customer service.
Guillermo and I used to have the same job where we answered phones for a certain electrical company.
Wow.
If I have to talk, explain how math works to one more person.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a power outage, does a refund show up on my bill? No, you just don't get charged for the electricity you use. Oh, well. Do you guys still have that little bit of an echo, or?
I don't hear any.
I think we're good.
Okay, it turns out, for some reason, the last few episodes, where it's just been Guillermo and me and our friend, our writing group buddy, Rob, I guess it turns out that everything that was recorded was just picked up through the microphone using the earbuds in my ear. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Wow.
It's not as good as I thought it was. So, it's better than like I was saying, our interview with Moses and Joshua, which will go up before this one pretty soon here. I had to do some kind of major tweaking, yeah. Anyway, you guys ever run into problems like that? Well, I know you had a whole like a few episodes that kind of went missing.
Yeah, for the second time, actually. So we learned our lesson now, and we have two of us recording it. So it's hard recording software off Skype. It's unreliable. We used to be using a Malto call recorder, and then we had a kind of a variety of problems with that. And then I used Call Note, and that failed to record. And it was just, I don't know, it's so devastating too when you lose an interview where you have a guest on, right? Because you've wasted their time as well as your own, right?
Yeah.
You have to just call them back sheepishly, like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're busy.
That was controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 hosts too, right? So, it's tough to kind of get all 4 people together.
Oh yeah. Well.
Joke.
Yeah. Well, yeah. With us, it's like just the two of us, and having an extra another person on is like it is like trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
And
sure.
yeah, it can be really weird. But yeah, I think I got everything set up properly here now.
Right.
And I've been recording. Have you guys said anything that you don't want on there?
Diana sending an email to her lawyer.
He Yeah, that probably should say that.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I've just been recording for a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you didn't catch my whole diatribe on white supremacy being
Nature slaves.
yeah.
No, I missed all that. You can totally go back into it again if you want to, though.
No, I went to CPAC, so I don't want to go over that again. That was just happened to be at the same place that it was being held, and walked around, and it was a whole lot of crazy.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I realized when we were talking to Moses and Joshua, I never did give them a formal introduction, and that's kind of what we do on our show is we just kind of fade in anyway. But let's try something a little different. We got Jordan Ellinger and Diana Rowland on the show, or is it Rowland?
Roland.
Okay, I had it right. Good. And you guys are half of the Hide and Create team. I wonder.
The best half.
Yes.
I was thinking it, but Diana went there.
I haven't filtered.
Oh, that's fine.
Rather, I filter out anything that's not offensive.
Can we swear on your show?
Oh, all you want.
Oh, good.
G Willikers. Sure you can.
Keep her muzzled on Hide and Create. I'm sure
I know,
she'll
it's
let
hard.
loose there.
Oh yeah, well no, we had our second guest we had was Michael J. Sullivan. And I think I mentioned him on every episode that we've ever done after that. We had him on, and it was right before I put up a review of his book. And he goes, "Yeah, I noticed you gave it some stars, but you didn't write a review, and you're just waiting to see if I'm an asshole or not, aren't you?" But luckily, he was very nice. So, yeah, I'll try to, be civil. I try to be civil, but that's about it. Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of practice working in. Well, we had a lot of practice working in radio and toning down the words that would make baby Jesus cry and stuff. But
yeah, did you know you can't say the word poop on the radio after or before 8 p.m.?
Oh, really?
Oh shit, that sucks.
In Canada, you can say shit on the radio in Canada.
Then you have to apologize after, right?
Wow. Only if they're. We have like a false friend. We apologize to foreigners so that you guys think we're all nice and polite, right? And then we spend the rest of our time wrestling polar bears. So.
And moose. I hear there's a lot of moose up
Wearing
there.
hockey skates.
No, my favorite. My favorite greeting card that I ever got actually. It showed the Canadian-American border, and like there was a line where, like on the American side, it was like deserts and cowboys. And on the Canadian side, you couldn't see anything because it was just snow, and there was like a Mountie hat or something on it. I was like, yes, that's what happened.
Yeah, just lots of snow and yeah. But you have.
If I were to extrapolate, if I didn't know anything about history and was to extrapolate why there's two different countries, then I would have figured, well, all the assholes went south and all the nice people went north.
Yeah, I live in the southern United States, and yeah, that holds up.
I'm getting some really bad echo now for whatever reason.
Oh, I think I turned you guys up a little bit. That's why.
Okay.
So hang on. All right, echo I think is gone. Yeah, Diana, you live in. Did you say Georgia?
No, Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. That's right. Okay. Oh no, you said Georgia earlier, and I just associated.
Well, I used to live in Georgia. I went to Georgia Tech.
Oh, fun.
The echo is quite bad here. Is it just me that's hearing that?
I hear it too.
And I'm getting it on my side too.
Well, it
Sounds like
must be my fault.
Like a drag strip or something, you know? Like, check, testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo, but like I said, it's probably because the last few episodes we've recorded, I've been sitting outside, so I think I don't know, maybe having walls around me is making an echo.
No echo for you.
No, it won't show up.
I mean, I can hear it for me.
Yeah, you guys will just sound crazy on the episode, but if you guys are okay with a little bit of an echo, that's I don't think I can really fix it.
Does it come through on the recording?
No. Like I said, you guys will sound crazy on the recording.
Okay.
Like there's definitely an echo.
Yeah,
No.
talking about echo that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, so we've already established where you guys live.
What's your favorite color? Do you believe in unicorns?
Pink sparkly ones. I have a 9-year-old girl, so of course I do.
I gotcha.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I got a 1.5-year-old, and I'm already prepping for unicorns and Barbies and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a boy, so it'll be headless G.I. Joes or something. Well, I guess My Little Pony, because boys are into that now. You have the whole brony movement.
Oh, you can totally be a brony.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guillermo's not done with that.
Mine is actually more into like unicorn farts and stuff like that. She takes after me a little bit too much. I had to. She had a homework last night, and she was reading some stuff, and she's like, "Mom, what's flatulence?" I'm like, "Really? How can you not know what flatulence is? We have plenty of it." So we had a discussion about flatulence, and
you had to have
it's
that
one of
talk.
the educational discussions that you have with your kid is all about flatulence.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments to remember.
I just remember, like, I taught my son, who's almost 4 now, I taught him the word snart. Which is where you sneeze and accidentally fart at the same time. Yeah.
Oh.
And, and he totally goes around like, who snorted? And it's very funny. Yeah. So, so Jordan, you have a baby? Like tiny baby?
Well, no, he's 13 months.
13 months. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he can walk around and run away from his mother, and stuff like that when he's doing something he's not supposed to. So.
Yeah, I think, when I was on your show, I think we had this whole off-air discussion about how it's like having this kid walking around is like the strangest experience in the world. Because it's like a little piece of your soul, like your own little Horcrux walking around.
I don't know that I'd ever call him a Horcrux where he could hear me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is weird having, a child. Like, this kid totally depends on me, and yet because he's 13 months old, if I leave for 2 weeks or a month, he pretty much forgets about me, right? Kids forget about you. Like
Object permanence.
Well,
yeah.
Exactly, right? It's weird. I don't know. I mean, it's weird to have something that's so dependent on you walking around, and you're the center of their world, right? And kind of whatever you do is right. Like, I don't know. You're programming. I'm a programmer, or at least I was before I became a full-time writer. And it's weird because you are programming this little creature. I don't know.
Yeah. And that brings up the topic, how do you find time to write if you have, kids running around?
Well, my wife is a teacher. She works 4 days a week. So basically we have, each of us takes the kid 2 days a week. And then we have daycare 2 days a week, and then the final day is a family day where we spend it all together. So right now I guess we're recording this on a Tuesday, and is in daycare.
Fun. I love daycare.
I just neglect my child horribly. That's all I do.
Okay.
Don't get that other point. No, it's much easier once they get into school, because then you have that during the daytime that you can dedicate pretty well. Plus, my family's pretty understanding of what I do. And so when it's coming up close to deadlines, they know that don't poke mommy because bad things will happen.
Yeah, I luckily I get this nice little chunk of maybe 2 hours a day where I drop one kid off at daycare or at preschool, and then drop another one off at grandma's house. And I get like a good 2 hours to sit at Starbucks and write.
Nice. Yeah. That's actually a significant chunk of time, right? Depending on how fast you write. Like I know writers that just write on their lunch hour and they, put out a book a year, right?
Mm-hmm. That's how I wrote my first book. I mean, I wrote, Mark of the Demon. I'd work before I went off to work. Then I write on my lunch hour, and then write after work and in the evening, and just work around. Yeah. But actually, that's why after my book deal came in, my husband said, "I'd like to see you every now and then," and so that's why I ended up quitting. Also, I hated the job with a passion, so. Oh. And it was that or burn the place down.
And
Nice.
you were a cop, so if you burned the
No,
place
no,
down-
actually, this was after I was working at the coroner's office, and they'd taken me out of the morgue, and it was not fun.
Oh, wow.
There was drama, so.
I'm guessing they're still pretty good at investigating things like random fire. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
And it just happened to be on your last day.
yeah. Well, it actually worked out pretty well because I had a boss that I really, she was evil. I've never hated a boss like this before, but everyone agreed she was evil, and she got fired about a month before my book deal came in, which was good because if she hadn't been fired, I'd have gone into her office and gone, fuck you, 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 fuck you. So I was actually able to leave on much nicer terms.
So it was an evil woman that worked at a morgue. Was he some kind
She
of
was
necromancer?
actually like the head, the director of, cause we had DNA, lab there and everything else. So, she was supposedly the director of it. She was evil.
Okay. So I will stand by my assertion that she was a necromancer.
Definitely evil.
Yeah.
Necromancer is has such a bad connotation, you guys. Come on. Take the word back.
The white trash zombie novels.
Well, not really necromancer. I mean,
No.
She has to eat brains.
Yeah, well, same. They're in a coroner's office. Right?
Yeah. She works in a morgue.
Has this boss ever kind of featured in any of your books, or?
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one that does that, then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got okay. It's good that because I felt like a bastard for doing that, especially since a lot of these people don't know that I have some sort of resentment against them, and if they ever read it, they will know.
It's called
I'm going to lose a lot of friends with my book.
Therapy.
It's called Techorization. There was this author,
Mhm.
and he would, put the names of his, his enemies, people he didn't like, into his books, and then he would have them die in horrible ways, right? In his books. But we actually covered that topic on a recent episode of Hide and Create. It's difficult to do that. You can do that with public personalities, right? You can put them into your books, but with private citizens, they have an expectation of privacy. You can't just dump them into your book.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is you can use a name, but then have that character be entirely dissimilar, right? Or you can use a fairly similar character with a different name, but then even then, there's an argument that can be made that you stole somebody's likeness, right? And there's a couple of high-profile cases going through the courts right now about people that have created characters that match, like a neighbor exactly, except for the name, and they're being sued by the neighbor.
Wow. So like that's
like Michael Crichton do that.
Did he?
I heard there was some critic or something that said some bad things about him, and then Michael Crichton decided to put him in one of his novels as like some sort of murderer pedophile.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I think courts have become have favored privacy kind of recently, right? Like I said, Techorization was really big back in the day, but I don't think that you can do it now.
No, okay.
Yeah,
That's like
it's not worth the risk, basically.
Yeah, it's like extreme identity theft almost.
Yeah, so
Stealing somebody's
I gotta
essence.
go rewrite some parts of my novel.
I'm telling you, Guillermo, just change their name, add the R or the N into somebody's name, and it's medieval.
Oh no, I totally don't use their names, but when they read it, they're gonna be like, "You bastard, this was me." I know it was me.
Oh boy. So anyway, Diana, you mentioned that you wrote your first book more or less with lunch breaks, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Before work, after work, lunch breaks, yeah. Basically around a full-time job. And taking care of a kid and all that good stuff.
I'm kind of, right now, like I said, I get to Starbucks a few times a week. I also have this great overnight security job where I secure nothing.
Yeah.
And that gives me,
cool.
that gives me a nice few hours to read, to write, but it always seems like, whenever I have that free time, I never take advantage of it. I just kind of look up, cat videos on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I mean, no, I'm paying attention.
Well, I wonder, cause I know, Hide and Create, you got, one traditional published, one indie published, an editor, and a tie-in writer. Jordan being the tie-in writer, and Diana, you're the traditionally published. So when you finished that first book, I wonder if you could maybe walk us through a couple of the steps that got you to being published.
Well, for me, at the time, indie writing really wasn't a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was really before ebooks were at all popular. So traditional publishing was, that was the tradition.
Yeah.
I finished the book. I put it in a drawer for a few months, then took it out, rewrote it, sent it to some friends. They told me what sucked about it, which was all of it. I rewrote it some more. And then I started doing research on what agents I wanted to send it to, and started using the internet and looking in books to see, because a lot of times agents are mentioned in acknowledgments or dedications.
Mm-hmm.
And, people who wrote books similar to the ones, to what I was doing, made a long list and then figured out a query letter, revised that a few times, and then started sending stuff off. I did about 5 at a time and would send more out as the rejections rolled in. And I had this spreadsheet, this complex spreadsheet with who the agent was, what their agency, what agency they were with, when I sent it out, what the submission requirements were, because every single agency has something different. I mean,
yeah.
Some want just a letter, some want 5 pages, some want 3 chapters, some want a picture of Angelina Jolie's ass. But you do what is necessary for each agent. So yeah, and then I would keep track of when I sent it off and when I got a response back and stuff like that. And I queried 33 different agents, got requests for partials from 14 and requests for fulls from 2. And the one who finally took me, Matt Bialer, was actually in my top 5, and I have been blissfully happy with him ever since.
Oh, fun.
And so, yeah, after he said he loved the book, he wanted to sell it, then that took about 7 months. The rejections kept rolling in. He sent it around to all the publishers, and they rolled in, and I was getting very depressed. And then finally, after about 2 weeks after, he talked me off a couple of ledges, and I said, I think I should just write something different. Instead of, the second book in a series that might not sell, he finally emailed me. No, excuse me, he called me up and said, "Hi, I told you so." And told me that Ann Grohl at Bantam bought the first 2 books. So
nice.
That didn't suck.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I keep. It's kind of funny how very different people think of that kind of process. Because when I first started writing, I was like, oh yeah, I'll as soon as an agent gets my book or picks me up, it's sold. I've hit the big time. No, but yeah, it's funny. You still have that's 7 months that it was being shopped around. Yeah.
It was painful. Oh God, that was painful.
I bet, yeah.
I actually got lucky because Matt had sent it to a different editor at Bantam,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't her cup of tea at all. But she thought, it might be Ann's, and she actually walked it over to Ann and handed it to her. So I was very lucky that she did that.
Yeah, because once you send it to an editor at a publishing house, you can't send it to a different editor at that same publishing house.
Right. Now, luck was part of it. Also, I went to World Fantasy Con back when it was up in Syracuse, New York. And, of course, since it was in New York, all the editors and agents were up there, too. And I was very lucky and managed to meet a lot of these editors. And I knew that my manuscript had been sent to this editor. And so I got a chance to meet her and just said, hey, by the way, my manuscript is on your desk, no rush. You're like that.
It's actually probably in the closet full of some other manuscripts.
Yeah. But I was very nice and polite, and that's all I said. I didn't push or anything like that. Just like, oh yeah, I happen to have a manuscript with you. And that was it. And I think that helped. The fact that she recognized my name and, thought, okay, I'll take it over to see if Ann likes it. Oh no. Whatever, it worked out. So. Yeah,
that's nice. And are you seeing that is kind of a similar experience some other people get that you've talked to? I mean,
I've known people who've had a long wait between getting an agent and selling a book, and I've known people who've gotten an agent and never sold a book too, or never sold that first book that they had. And I hate to say it, it's just persistence. If you can't find a market for it, either write something else or find a different market. Nowadays, you have different options. You have the options of going indie or that sort of thing. But at the same time, the book, as I turned it in, needed a lot of work. I can't even imagine if I'd gone off and published it as it was, it would not have done as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Grohl, who is also George R. R. Martin's editor, is amazing. She's a fantastic editor, and she made me a better writer. And she worked with me very, very hard. My first edit letter was 9 pages single-spaced, and that was just the first one. and it made a better book, and I learned a lot about writing from her. So, yeah, if you're going to go indie, at least get an editor.
Yeah. We talked pretty thoroughly with Joshua about that. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing too. Just the whole being a freelance editor. That was really interesting. But well, that's cool. And then and how many books now do you have out?
That'll be How the White Trash Zombie Gets Her Groove Back. Yeah.
Nice. I was perusing some of the other titles you'd released. I didn't see that one. That's funny.
Yeah, that's coming out next. And we just released the cover, which has a dismembered woman on the cover. It's awesome. But it's funny. It's a funny dismembered woman on the cover.
It's whimsical.
It's a whimsical dismembered woman on the cover.
Guillermo and I both went to whimsical. Oh boy.
I might leave that in just to have it in there. But so, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome back if you're back. If you're not back, then you're obviously not hearing this, so screw you.
Yeah.
Not you. Not you, the people who are listening. Screw you, the people who are not
yeah, boy,
listening.
we've been gone for, it's been like a couple months since we had a new episode, and now we're coming back all edgy. We're like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I apologize.
As you should. So, I don't even know how this goes anymore. I've like forgotten how to talk. I guess what we should say is we were gone for a couple of months, and then suddenly I got inspired to, get the show back, get the band back together.
Well, it's easier now because I live in town and we don't have to, coordinate. Also, I don't have a job other than, taking up space and occasionally washing some dishes.
Yeah, which thank you.
Yeah.
I like to, Guillermo is now our, the live-in nanny.
Oh, yeah.
You're like the, Mary Poppins? No.
I'd like to think of myself more as the suburban commando.
Wasn't there, who was the guy on the Jeffersons? Was there a guy on the Jeffersons? Or am I thinking of a different show?
You're thinking of a different show, definitely.
Okay, anyway, some show where they had like a manservant.
Yeah. Three's Company? No.
No, he was like a super.
Give me a break.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, that's
or is that the slogan for Kit Kat?
No, Give Me a Break was the, that show with, those three ladies that lived in an apartment, and the superintendent was some sort of, he was played for laughs, but when you really think about it, he was kind of a perv. Kind of a, yeah.
Oh.
Well, he wouldn't fly. I mean, that's something you could do back in the early 80s.
I guess, yeah. So anyway, now that we're done with that,
welcome to 80s. Welcome to, 80s chat.
Yeah. Welcome to early 80s TV show chat where we talk about what was okay to do back then. And
you guys remember Small Wonder? No, I don't. No, let's not talk about that.
I just choked on I loved that show. Anyway, Small Wonder. Wow.
I got
There's so much like 80s hair on that show. Anyway, so Guillermo, in the past couple of months or so, how has your writing gone?
It's been sort of hit and miss. I find that when I do write, it either comes out brilliantly, or I read it and then rewrite it and then rewrite what I wrote and then rewrite what I rewrote, to the point where I'm just sick of it. I think that's what they say. It's like, is that an artist thing? Where
it's you're learning how to edit.
Okay. It's like, 'cause at this point I've redone my first story so many times that it's just like, now I hate it. Now every joke is like, every joke is like a mouthful of like spiders to me.
Yeah, I think that is the, I guess what's called like the artist's curse or something, where you just kind of...
You eventually just hate it?
Yeah, you just hate everything you do, and it's never good enough. Which I guess is, you know, an okay standard to have, is like, as long as you're changing stuff to make it better, not just adding in, you know, extra stormtroopers or, you know...
Or CG. Some of the CG stuff was kind of... Okay, everyone kind of...
Or making Greedo shoot first.
Okay, well that was terrible, and I'm like, well, it's one of those things where you're like, well, the Han shooting first was it totally sets the tone for the character and the, you know, and then the arc, it makes the arc so much better at the end. And then I'm like, no, George Lucas doesn't understand this character. I'm like, dude, George Lucas wrote the character. He's not your character.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you know, that kind of brought something up where, a few weeks ago, there was that episode of Hide and Create where they were talking about gray heroes and anti-heroes. And by the way, Hide and Create, what we just had our interview with them. It's a lovely podcast that I make sure to download it. You know, I'm subscribed. It's like in my top 2 podcasts, along with ours, because I'm a narcissist and I listen to my own voice.
So yeah, once you're done listening to us, then go listen to them.
Exactly. That's what this whole episode is about. I was on their show like a few months back, and they put that episode up right after we recorded it. And this one, like, okay, so I might mention it in the intro, because I'll probably do like an intro to this, but yeah, I kind of had a bit of a situation where I was unable to get out of bed because I was in horrifying, blinding pain because of a situation with my back, and went to the ER. Actually got my first ambulance ride out of that.
Really? What, yeah. Was it like in the movies? Like, are they like, I need 30 cc's of the chloroform stat?
No, it was uneventful, and I anyway, that, and I was on drugs for a while, and then Guillermo got really busy working and all that stuff, so we didn't get to record because of that, mostly. And because, you know, having 2 kids and a third on the way, and
yeah, definitely that reason, and not because we were locked in a madman's basement pit.
If we were, I would have put the lotion in the basket.
Well, I mean, I just chose to get the hose. I'm like, like this is good lotion.
It's like, I could use a shower.
This is good, expensive lotion. I'm
give
not
me the
gonna
hose.
give it back to you.
Yeah. But then you do what he wants you to if you put the lotion on. Anyway, so yeah, there was that episode Hide and Create, and they were talking about gray hero and anti-hero, and of course I'm listening to the episode talking back to them as if I were on the show, which I do all the time.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh yeah, Han Solo is an actual hero. It's like, yeah, he might be greedy, but, you know, he does what's right. And it's like, yeah, but he kind of does what's right mostly for money, kind of fame, too. But anyway, I thought it was funny whenever I read the show description of that episode. Instead of gray hero, I read gay hero, and it was like how to write a gay hero or anti-hero.
Like, you just write him like you would a straight hero, only, oh, by the way, I like dudes. That's it. That's all. Like, there's very little difference.
Yeah, that actually comes up in the book I wrote. Has one character just happens to be gay, and I didn't write him any differently.
Yeah, I mean,
he might have a little bit. I may have, you know, just wrote in that trope where he's kind of good at interior decorating. But that's it. That's like the only stereotype, I guess. But anyway, also, finished draft 4 of my recent book, or of my first book, I guess, and working on book 2, waiting for NaNoWriMo to come out. Now, I'm either going to finish book 2, or I'm going to start on that pirate book.
I don't know.
Or the other book.
Both sound really fun when you describe them to me, so I'd be fine with either. with me, I'm thinking of just rewriting something that I already started on. So,
well, that doesn't count unless it's all new words. I guess.
Well, yeah. I need to re-outline and change the pacing, and yeah, the pacing is not good. There are parts that are slow, and then they stay slow, and so I got to fix that.
Okay, yeah, that's writer problems.
Well, it's like I do a lot of dialogue, just constant dialogue, and it's like, oh, see, it's funny, yeah, it just makes you laugh. I'm like, but does it move the story along? No.
Yeah,
I
think actually that's the one time I will kind of sacrifice forward momentum is if I want to write in like a comedy trope. Like I'll totally let myself be diverted and have a little downtime just to throw in a laugh.
But the thing is, I mean, mine is supposed to be mostly comedy. I mean, it's comedy to me, but people who read it are just going to be like, what?
Yeah, that's like with mine, it's basically Dragnet, meets fantasy. So like I kind of wanted to stay true to how the movie flows, where it's like it is mostly a comedy, except I kind of didn't do that, but I make up for it by throwing in, like random jokes every once in a while. And they're always kind of like slightly cliche jokes, but I think they're kind of funny when you put them in a second world fantasy setting.
Well, yeah, cliches aren't always bad. I mean, the thing is, if you have your own twist on it, people are like, hey, that's a funny twist on that old cliche, But the thing is, when it doesn't work, is just when it's just overused. It's like you don't add anything yourself. It's just, hey, or like, oh, the way, these the sort of parody movies have sort of gone downhill. It's just because instead of trying to be funny, they're like, hey, look, Paris Hilton's in it. You remember her? She exists.
Yeah, you remember why she's famous?
And look, she's getting pooped on by a monkey. And it's just like, that's not, I'm like, okay, where's the comedy in that? Is there some trope about her getting pooped on by monkeys? No, she just get pooped on by monkeys because we hate her. Okay.
And by the way, she's getting paid like $1 million to do this.
I don't know.
And it's not even real monkey poop. So, we could do like a whole episode
about
just
monkey
on
poop?
like writing. No, yeah, on monkey poop, just on like writing comedy stuff. But I think my computer is starting to record us funny, so I think it's saying it's time to go. We will have a new episode up next week. I promise you. I think I've said that before, but this time I mean it. I really do.
We were going to talk about villains, weren't we?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the.
We should just re-record this entire thing and put this in the archive.
We'll do that next week.
Okay. We'll do it.
Which might be a few minutes from now, because I'm thinking of, backlogging some stuff. Anyway, so, check out Hide and Create. They have a different lineup now. We talked to, Diana Rowland in this episode. She's not on Hide and Create anymore. But, neither is Moses Sirigar, who you'll hear in a couple weeks. But now they have, Michael J. Sullivan, our favorite author, and, Debbie Vigay, who, I'm about to check out pretty soon. So we'll see how her books are. So she sounds good on the podcast. Sounds like she knows what she's talking about. So that's good.
Yeah, I gotta get to reading some of those books. Her White Trash Zombie novel is still like, it's still there. Like I'm like, I want to read it, but
Diana Roll. Yeah. Well, I finished. I read the first 2 books in her Demon series, and they were really fun. But yeah, she did mention that there was a bit of risque material in there, and there definitely was. And I wasn't ready for it because I kind of forgot that she said that. So I was just sitting there listening to this, because it's an audiobook, and there's this kind of sexy lady voice talking in my ear about, like, having her nipples brushed and stuff.
Oh.
So,
all right. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll read that.
Yeah, you might want to read it alone. Because when that was going on, like, there's this voice in my ear, like, talking about brushing nipples and stuff, and I was like looking around, like nobody's watching me right now, right?
It's like, yeah, no one can hear what you're hearing either.
Yeah. It's like they have no idea.
I shouldn't have played this on my boombox.
Yes. So anyway, and don't have like your parents read it to you if you're a young child, definitely.
Well, yeah.
I learned that lesson.
Yeah. Well, man.
So anyway, guys, don't forget, fmwpodcast.com. You can also follow us at FMW Podcast. Leave us some stars, on the iTunes thingamabobber.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done anything lately to earn them, but we're just hoping that, we've built up enough, enough good material so that you can listen to it and then realize that we have no idea what we're talking about.
Exactly. So we need all the help we can get. So do that, and then we will see you guys next week. What do I normally say? Oh yeah. Right.
Go right now.
Now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.